I'd like to call to order the Douglas Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, March 4th at 7:02 p.m. The first agenda item is a discussion for North Village project, the review of the bond. The applicant and their representative here, you want to join us?
Yep.
I think there's enough room tonight.
I have. Let me get out there. Yep. Keep going. Yeah, if you want. You want this?
No, it's fine.
You all set? Yep. All set.
Okay.
Good evening, members of the board, new town council. My name is Tim Barlow. I'm the developing partner and general contractor for North Brown. With me tonight is Neil Rybicki, site manager, and Edwin Typley, managing partner and counsel for the project.
Okay.
First, I'd like to thank the board and the town for helping us reach this milestone. We're in the fourth phase, and tonight we're here to discuss the bond for commencement of that phase. And with that, together, we've added 24 affordable homes to the town's inventory and for the state. So I thank you. So we're here tonight to discuss the bond. But first, I'd like to give you a brief update on where we are on the project so everyone remembers. Last fall, we completed the infrastructure to tie in the loop of Compass, and if you want, Neil can hand out a schematic that shows the project and the fourth phase. So last fall, we completed the infrastructure to include water, sewer, hydrants, and binder. This completes the underground utilities for the project. Last fall, we paved phases 1, 2, and 3 with top coat. Sidewalks will be topped this spring in the first 3 phases and also on the boulevard. This will leave phase 4 and the boulevard needing finish coat, which will be done once we near completion of the vertical construction in phase 4. All units, except for 2 in phase 3, have been completed and conveyed, which is 90 units. So we only have 2 units left in phases 1, 2, and 3. Street lights are an open item and need to be addressed. And now I'd like to hand out copies of the surety that we're presenting to the board. Margaret, can I get the remaining? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
prepared this?
The bond?
Yeah.
The bond estimate was prepared by your peer review engineer, Haley Ward. The bond itself was prepared by the insurance company.
Yeah.
Doug Bushman's online.
I mean, they've got loam and seed at $22 a yard. Can't even buy loam for $22 a yard, never mind seed it.
The bond was prepared by your peer review engineer. I would think he's the expert in this.
That's by the square yard, not the cubic yard. So it assumes, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6 inches, but
Yeah, 6 inches, yeah.
yeah, it was by the square yard, not the cubic yard. But yes, I would agree that by the cubic yard, it's $30 per yard.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Doug, could you just state your name and who you're representing, so, for the minute taker?
Sure. Douglas Bush, Haley Ward Engineering, consulting engineer for the town of Douglas.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, that does simplify that. And I know the guardrail was also something that was open-ended. I don't see anything in here.
No, because that becoming open is new to us, so it's something that also needs to be, it's a topic that needs to be addressed and discussed.
okay.
But if it's something that's going to hold up the bond, add it to the bond, and then we can talk about it at a later meeting, and then you're covered. But I would like to come in and discuss how we got to where we are with the duck guardrail.
Doug, do you know what it would cost to replace that guardrail?
Off the top of my head, I don't. I can,
Oh, the section of
Well, I
guardrail?
Are you,
Are you referring to the dent in the guardrail?
As you come in,
Yeah,
it's all
that piece,
rusty and...
yeah, that just got hit again by the town fire department.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be replacing, and they hit it in the exact same spot where it was hit before.
Mr. Chair, if I may
Sure.
interrupt just with a question. Kate Connolly, Town Council. Could you identify, you probably all know, but I don't necessarily know, like, where is the guardrail you're talking about? And then secondly,
show you.
as I had discussed with your council, my understanding is that there was a plan that showed where the guardrails would go, and then they weren't all put in those locations, and there may be some reasons why, snow removal, whatever.
Yes.
The board needs to know which ones weren't put in and why, and then if that's acceptable to the board, then we're going to need an updated plan. The board's going to need an updated plan on the
Okay.
guardrails. So if you could just identify the ones you're talking about, where exactly they are on the property?
What the chair is talking about, Mr. Heaney, there's a section of guardrail that's already installed.
Yep.
That was hit by a vehicle, and we were
At
asked...
the entrance?
Yeah.
At the
At the
entrance.
end, okay.
Yeah, and we were
Change of
asked to
location.
replace it. Yeah.
Yeah, at the entrance.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
but in terms of what you're talking about, the difference in the plan and what's shown and what's been constructed, the plan shows guardrails on either side of the boulevard for the entire length of the boulevard. And when we were constructing the boulevard and putting in the guardrail, it was agreed, we thought with Bill Cundiff, that we would limit the guardrail to the area over the wetland area, and I think the drainage.
It was agreed, it was agreed upon to put the guardrail over the wetland crossing, and not on both sides fully on the boulevard entrance, because that would impede snow plowing, and it was not necessary. So just where the slopes were great is where the guardrail was installed.
So you're saying that Bill said you didn't have to put it in, even though it was on the plan?
Agreed, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe Doug had heard that information also.
Is that what you heard, Doug?
I remember, so I've reported on it a long time ago. I don't have any information to say otherwise. When I reported on it and handed it to Bill, I don't know what happened from there. So I don't have anything to say, yes, that was agreed or not agreed, but, so I don't know the answer to that.
That doesn't sound like the Bill Condifino. It would make any decisions
Bill,
outside of a meeting.
I understand. It doesn't sound like Bill, but that's what we discussed in the field. And if Bill wanted the guardrail in, it would have been in a deficiency report. It would have been on the table of things that were deficient. And it was never put in for the entire time we've been building the project for 7 years. And if you go out there and look at it, you'll see guardrail is not needed in those locations, and it would impede the snow plowing and snow removal.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes. Could you ask Doug Bush if it makes logical sense that these guardrails aren't in those places that Mr. Barlow has described? That way we can get past that. I'm not familiar with the guardrail itself as to whether or not it's on a slope or not, but it sounds logical what he's explained. Yeah. But so that way we can at least get past it. If the engineer feels that it's adequate protection with the guardrail that's existing, or if we need to add any extra to it.
Yep. Could you comment on that for us, Doug?
Sure, yeah. So that sidewalk section is after you get down past the crossing and start to come back uphill. There's a section there on the right side as you're coming in that's not installed. So there's a 2 to 3 foot grass strip and then a 5 foot sidewalk, and then there's I don't know, say 5 or 10 feet of until you hit a wooded area where it starts to slope back down. I don't disagree with Barlow that there is some there is nowhere to put snow if you don't have that removed. I don't feel like that's a safety issue to not have that section of guardrail right there.
I guess we have the issue of the lighting. And I had to leave early in January's meeting, so I don't know anything.
Nothing got finished. Yeah, we're in the same spot.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, where Vicki had explained that they had ordered some temporary lighting for the lighting that's in that development. I had asked that he submit a memo just stating that it is temporary since it's an ongoing item for us, but I don't want to see us have these lights installed and then it gets forgotten about. We've been going back and forth on these lights for the last few months. I'd like to get some resolution to it as to what the plan is. Are they going to install the lights that are on the plans? Or they have something else in mind? And if there's something else in mind, we need to make a decision whether or not that's a minor or a major change, modification.
Thank you.
So Neil's handing out now the temporary lights that Mike's talking about. We installed those on 2 of the existing granite posts at the entrance.
Okay.
And we feel this is a very suitable light for a residential development. Has anyone had a chance to go in and take a look at them? No.
Yeah.
So you're not proposing to install the lights that were...
Well, we're talking about it. I'm not saying we're not doing anything. But this is what I would prefer to do, is to use the existing granite posts, which are 8 feet tall, with this new light head on it, which brings it to approximately 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
This light is suited for a residential development. It casts down and out. It has 1,000 more lumens than the lights that were proposed on the 2010 plan set. The 2010 plan set the light is 16 feet tall,
Right.
and the light casts out instead of down, so it would cause light pollution to go into the second-story bedrooms of whatever unit it was next to. And that is part of our permit. We're on page 7, number 11, that we are supposed to mitigate light pollution to the biggest extent possible. So we feel the light we did install with the granite post is the appropriate light for a residential development.
Yeah, but not the height that was proposed.
The height that's proposed is 16 feet.
Yeah.
And again, that would cast light into the second stories because the light post itself is only going to be 25 feet away from someone's bedroom window. This light casts down and out. This has a radius of 31 feet of light, where the light that's proposed on the 2010 plan set only had a 16-foot cast. So this gives more light and less pollution. And I did a little spreadsheet for that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I understand on the agreement that you're supposed to mitigate the light pollution, but it doesn't eliminate the fact that these lights were designed, I think it's page 26 in the master plan, showing that particular light fixture. So do you have anything from the manufacturer that actually describes the downcast of the light from that original fixture that was designed?
Yeah, I do. We're handing that out now. Oh, from the original one? No, I can't get, again, the original light that was proposed is a Boston-style urban light.
Yeah.
And it comes from a company called Nyland.
Okay.
And they deal mostly with municipalities. I can't get an estimate, a return call. We've called every vendor, every one they deal with. I went to Gray Bar. They told me they could get prices on it. They can't. So if anyone can, we'll be happy to take it. But yes, we could have a lighting engineer do a description between the two, stamp it, and I can hand that in to verify what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just to share with the board, this was just it was
Oh, you can hand these out.
yeah, at a Builders Trade Show, and they had all different types of lighting and stuff like that. And they do show street lighting between 9 and 12, 9 and 13 feet, and 7 to 14 feet, and stuff like that, with multiple variations. So, yeah. So that's the that's. This in no particular vendor here, and I can give you this
Yeah, sure.
pamphlet.
We'd love that. Thank you.
Because I think they might have moved away from that, more of an LED nowadays. You know what I mean? That type of light with a ball versus like an LED setup. So.
Why wasn't the original proposal for the lights, why didn't we stick with that?
These?
What was proposed on the plan?
Well, there's a
It was approved.
discrepancy over the plans. We have a 2009 set of plans that shows one light detail. And then we have a 2010 set of plans, which nobody has ever seen until a year ago. That was found in the building inspector's office. Your peer review engineer was handed the 2009 set by Mr. Cundiff. Every meeting I've ever gone to with Bill or any town official, it's been with the 2009 set of plans. The town water and sewer department, their copy is the 2009 set of plans. Then Ken, building inspector, found this 2010 set, and everyone's been calling that the latest set, and that shows this light detail on it. The 2009 set shows a light detail very similar to what is installed. So that's how we ended up with the 2,000, with the lights that are in
Which
now.
set of plans were signed?
Both. No, which side, the 2009 set was signed by the board, and those are the ones that are recorded at the registry. The 2010 set was, I don't know, it just appeared.
It's, as I understand it, it's not a set, the 2010 is one sheet.
It's just one sheet.
One sheet,
Yeah, it was one revision.
Yeah.
That was changed in the,
which was the lights.
Must have been submitted
Yeah.
by you.
No, it was not.
The
It
town
was-
certainly
it was-
didn't draw up a plan.
I understand that it was submitted by Paul Hotnack
The engineer.
from Heritage Engineering.
Who
And some-
represented you at the time?
Well, he was employed by us at the time, and I never approved that light. That light was never brought to, or that plan page was never brought to any meeting, was never seen by the board. So whether Paul and Bill were looking at this, it doesn't mean it's implemented and part of the project. I mean, by my understanding, by Bill handing the 2009 set to Doug Bush and giving the 2009 set to the Water and Sewer Department, that's the set we've all been working from. That is the plan of record.
And you're saying the only difference is
It's just
the
that one
page, the
sheet.
page
Yeah.
that...
One
Yeah.
page and shows us
Yeah, we-
light detail on
we
it.
covered it.
Yeah. And again, I wouldn't agree to this light. This light is too tall for the project. At 16 feet, it would shine in second-story bedrooms.
I hate to say it, but that sounds very unlike Paul and very unlike Bill, because I know both of them quite well.
And so do I. But that's where we are.
You're saying that your engineer
Ask
submitted something?
ask Doug what
Without
set
your knowledge?
ask Doug what set he was handed.
Yeah, so we've been working off the plans that were referenced from the board's decision, which were the 2009 set. I have never seen the revision, I've seen it, but I was never given it, it was never given to me. I had just seen it not too long ago. So I'm not 100% sure where it came from. But we've been working off everything we've been using is from the 2009 set that was from the board's decision. It was referenced in the board's decision.
Through the chair, could I just ask, Doug, wouldn't it make sense to get a lighting plan on, let's say, the one that was in the revision of the plan? You can almost do a lighting plan off of that, as well as a lighting plan off of what they're proposing, to see what the deltas is, if there's any deltas. Because at the end of the day, you want a well-lit road, and if this proposed street light that they're proposing is, within, the area and looms as much as one that was outdated or that hung over and stuff like that into the area, I think you need just an engineering lighting illumination, where the lights were going to go.
I agree.
And illumination. Would you guys make sense of that?
Oh, yeah, I
Because
agree
then you can, then that educates anybody to say, is it bright enough? Is it this? Is it that?
Yeah.
I think trying to make any decision of a change or no change, I think a illumination plan would make sense.
Sure.
And if you guys are open to it,
Oh, absolutely.
I think that
So that would be-
educates us all.
That would be the developer's responsibility to provide that too.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, it would make sense, you always gotta be careful with changing the lights. I mean, I don't know if at some point during the design process, there was some sort of lighting plan that put those lights at those spacing, and those types. So you just have to be careful if the spacing's not gonna change, but you change the lighting, sure, you could be shining light where you don't want it to be, and I think that
Put
makes
guards on,
sense.
Yeah. So I think we've had,
I don't, but as it stands, the lights may not be adequate, but the spacing is as proposed on the plan.
but, Doug, I'm just thinking of what was originally you know, in the revision, a lighting plan to that versus what's being proposed. So then we as a board, as a body, can turn around and see what is the delta and, you know, is this sufficient, you know, efficient enough?
I agree.
No, that's all.
I'll present a report
Yeah.
from an engineer.
Okay.
And I'm confident the lights we're proposing are better than the ones that were on the 2010 plan set.
All right. Wait.
Doug, are you familiar with paragraph 40 in the MOU, which refers to completion of the infrastructure shown on the final site plans, including but not limited to the roadways, driveways, sidewalks, parking, stormwater management, lighting, wastewater facilities, landscaping, and utilities? Are you familiar with that?
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm vaguely familiar, I don't have it in front of me, but.
Okay. So I don't see in the bond numbers where that, any deficiencies here are covered. Am I
Well, my bond was I was only asked to do the remaining roadway work,
asked by who?
the board.
Okay.
If I can clarify?
Sure.
The surety that we provided tonight is for top coat of asphalt. That's how the security provisions are written. All remaining work is under a covenant that the town has over the project.
Okay.
And the caveat to the board is you're holding the last 4 occupancy permits of the market rate units until you're satisfied with the completion of the project. So the way security provisions were written in this is really a covenant.
Just a question to the chair. You guys would still come before us for release?
Yes.
Of each unit? Yeah, or units in a block, right? 4 units, 4 units?
No, we go to the building inspector.
Yep.
He does that. He's supposed to be your oversight.
Yep.
It was Bill.
Yep.
He signed off, and now it's Ken, and Doug is his eyes on the site for all infrastructure items.
So this is what, remaining 24 units?
32.
32 units?
Yeah.
So you don't have to come before us for
For the last 4 we do.
only the last
Yes,
one?
the last 4.
Okay, just for clarification.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
one point of clarity, so the last 4 that he's talking to in the bond is for the final coat of pavement. I agree with that, but number 40, the security provisions in which you read as security for completion of the infrastructure shown on the final site plans, including but not limited to roadways, driveways, sidewalks, parking, stormwater management systems, lighting, wastewater facilities, landscaping, and utilities, collectively the infrastructure. The release of occupancy permits for the buildings shall be subject to the following restrictions, and that is a list of restrictions. And under C is, upon completion of all infrastructure, as described above, the board engineer may authorize the town building inspector to release the occupancy permits, right? So the other work outside of the pavement, whether it's lighting or rain gardens or whatever other issues that we have, are tied into occupancy permits.
Yeah, agreed.
That's how this is spelled out in that agreement. So, Tim, right from the beginning, I tried to work with you guys to get us moving along. And I remember back at the very beginning, I got inside eyes because of my tactics to try to help you to get to where you need to be. The occupancies on the first few units when we're a little behind schedule on the affordables and some other issues that we had. So my goal is to get this project finished with you. I'm not trying to be difficult with you, but at the same time, we have a responsibility to the town and to the residents up there, to make sure that this project gets finished properly and according to the plan.
Agreed.
So that's the only motivation that I have in this. It's not to give you a hard time or anything else. This has been difficult at best for us at certain times during this process over the last 10 years. We started back in 2016. Right around this time of the year is when you started your site work. You got your first permit in July of 2016 for the first units. You have some remaining unit items that have been carried along since the beginning. What's the status with those items, and what do you think about the completion? A lot of it was tied into final coat of pavement and different things like that. Are we pretty much cleaned up on the prior issues that we've had?
I would defer that to Doug, but my answer is yes. The only deficiency items we have really are maintenance. And we're still discussing streetlights. That's an open item. And I think we've clarified whatever was wrong with the guardrail. But other than that, it was top coat of paving. And it was a lot of paving issues with paving cracking, potholes, all of which have been rectified in phases 1, 2, and 3. We finished those. Residential driveways, all those are completed, which were only base coat. Those are all top now. And the only remaining item that is still a deficiency is topping the boulevard entrance and Phase 4.
I think it
How
has
do we
to be,
stand with the rain gardens over, I think it was near 30 or 31, there was some issues with rain gardens over in that area. Those
Those
have all
have-
been knocked out and cleaned up.
Yeah, those have all been rectified, and they are all operating. But again, I would defer that to Doug and let him answer where we are.
yeah,
And I don't disagree with anything Tim said there.
but on the boulevard, there was more to it than the top coat. I think it was spelled out in some.
Oh, yeah, we have work to do to finish the
I
book.
think the base coat has to be replaced.
Well, yes,
Okay, so it's not just top coat.
I'm not denying that. It's
Yeah.
whatever's in Doug's bond estimate is the work that needs to be completed. But I was answering Mike on deficiencies around the phases 1, 2, and 3. They have been completed. The only outstanding item in phases 1, 2, and 3 are streetlights.
So on that boulevard, Dan, they also, that Stone Center is going to be a grass strip there when it's all said and done.
Yep, I see what
I
Doug,
believe that's.
Yep.
put a number in there for that.
So if that stuff's under control, Tim, the only issue I have, and I don't know what the answer is, and I'm going to dig into it a little bit more about these infamous streetlights, just to make sure what it is, because there's a substantial difference between what's put in and what was designed. I don't know where those lights came from myself either. But it's a substantial thing, right? And they call for 3/4 inch, 18-inch long anchor bolts to hold them down. It's like, they're pretty substantial.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We haven't had any issues up there, so I don't foresee any issues coming up. For long-term maintenance, if somebody was to snap one of those off because they weren't paying attention, is it problematic to try to fix that if it's a granite post with a wire right up to them? I don't know if you cemented them in. I don't know what.
Yes, we cemented them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting back to Doug's explanation about square yards versus cubic yards. So if my math is correct, a square yard of 9 square feet, which is 4.5 cubic feet, that comes out to about $132 a yard. Is that right, Doug?
I agree with you.
Doug's on mute.
Yeah.
He might be reaching for his calculator, too.
Sorry, I'm on mute, I didn't realize. I was talking to Mike. talking away to nobody. I don't have my, I don't have that calculation on, you know.
Yeah, so it's easy math. So if you had 3 by 3 is 9,
Yeah.
6 inches thick is 4.5, right?
Yeah.
So, 4.5 times 6 is 27. So 6 times 22 is 130. So that's where I came up with the number. I just want to make sure, just for the record, that it's $22 a yard. I agree with the chairman. You'd be hard pressed to buy the material, never mind spread it and seed it. If it was figured as a cubic yard, but you're figuring it as area, 6 inches thick as a 9 square feet.
Okay.
Yeah. For Mr. Chairman, for myself, the biggest thing that I have is just trying to get some resolution to this lighting. Right? And this is what we need to do just on this final part is actually just have a very calm conversation and get through it, just like we did with the guardrail, right? It doesn't have to be a rock fight to get there. We just have to figure out what it is. Do that job.
I like the idea of I'll have a lighting engineer write a report and compare the two lights and see how that works. That was a great suggestion.
Mr. Chair, could I make a recommendation?
Sure, please.
These different possibilities of what you're going to require that you're discussing, if you could take a vote at the end, because we've heard Member Fitzpatrick had asked for a memo about the lights, and now we have the idea of doing a comparison. Whatever you decide you want to do, like just take a vote so the applicant knows that that's what you've decided. Same thing with respect to the guardrails. If we're in agreement that they're not going to move them or anything like that, but the current situation does not match the plans, you might want to require an updated plan that shows what's actually on the ground.
Okay. Yep.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if we get to that, so Tim's suggesting that we evaluate the illumination of the light for a comparison from the light engineer. That's one part of it. The other part of it is the fixture itself, right? There has to be some sort of happy medium. And I'm not saying that I'm going to use an example, Tim, and I'm not saying your light is this, but there has to be a happy medium in between a job lot light and something that belongs in Boston Gardens, right? So I just want to make sure that we have a decent quality light up there that's going to last the residents for a fair amount of time so that they don't incur the cost of trying to retrofit these things in a very short period of time down the road.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I don't think anything outlasts granite posts, so, yeah.
But it's not the granite post, you're putting a fixture on the top, right?
Yeah, we're putting a fixture, but it's a commercial grade fixture.
Yep.
It's not a residential. And we can do a comparison that way in quality.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. What year was this project started?
2016, I think. Ended 16.
2016.
Yeah, we broke ground.
2016.
Yeah, so 10 years.
Yeah.
All right. You're aware that, per this MOU, that it has to be completed in 12 years from the day it was started.
Yeah.
Is that realistic?
Well, I've been held up now for a year. I'm a year behind. So.
As we get close, we can come in requesting an extension. There's also a couple of permit extension acts that may apply, so I haven't computed where it actually would put it, but we're not close to the 12 yet, and if it becomes an issue, we can do that.
Okay.
As far as being held up, Tim, the easiest way to move things along is like we did tonight. Come together as a group, have an intelligent conversation, and have people there that can actually make a decision, and we can move forward with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. No, but Neil comes sometimes by himself, and he's at a disadvantage. He can't make a decision for us, or for you, to us, right? So it gets frustrating on both sides. So we're on the tail end of things. In order to expedite this thing, somebody needs to come to the meeting that has decision-making abilities if we have an issue that arises. Hopefully, we're getting past that point when we're nearing the end of this project.
Thank you. I will not miss another one.
All right, so you are the decision-making person on this?
Well, I can, and so can Ed, and actually so can Neil. Neil can make decisions.
Well, with all due respect to Neil, he's been good to work with, but
Yeah.
there has been situations where he had to go talk to someone else, presumably you or Ed or whatever, and had to get back to us, so,
Okay? But either Ed or I can make decisions.
all right, if you could be present at the future meetings, then maybe we can help expedite this whole situation.
I will not miss another meeting.
Is there still stockpile material up in, Tim?
Yes.
Are you waiting till the end to take that out? Are you going to get rid of it as you're going through phase 4?
We're going to get rid of it as we're building through Phase 4. Some of that's for building. It's
Yeah.
material to replace material. If we hit some ledge, we got suitable material for backfill. Most of it is loom that's going to be used on the site. We have 2 giant piles of loom there. And the stumps, we just finished cutting all the trees that need to be cut and pulling all the stumps, so those will be trucked out, some point this year.
How many units remain to be built in Phase 4?
32.
32.
And we've completed 92, of which 90 are occupied.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. It's kudos to both of us. Affordable projects are not easy to build.
Tim, can we get updated financial evaluations on that to make sure that you're within the range that you're supposed to be? Because I think you're limited to like a 20% profit or whatever. You had given us some before, but when Jay Talman was on, and when I looked at it, it almost looked like that there was more units in liability and less in assets. So if you're this close to this point, you should be able to get some accurate figures as to where you're at with that.
Yeah,
The way it was figured that at that point you were upside down. There was no possible way you could go.
No, we're going to get out of it, but we provided the financials per how the permit is written, and the full accounting is on a 40B is not done until the end of the project.
Okay, so your answer is no. Okay.
Yeah, we can't do it till the end. Yeah.
How is that enforced if it doesn't comply with the maximum profit or?
I've never built a 40B project that made over the maximum amount. So,
There is a bond. When we did the regulatory agreement, DHCD requires a bond. So there's been a bond that's been posted with DHCD, and DHCD is the one that's responsible for the cost certification and does the cost certification. It's not a municipal function.
It's an oversight for them.
Tim, the road is in on phase 4. Is all the water and sewer in on that as well?
yes, it's all in. Hydrants are in. So,
And that was all inspected through the water department?
absolutely, yes, and Doug.
I can't see the bond amount,
Oh, yeah, he's online.
Mr. Chairman, but I'm going to assume that is correct. I trust the judgment of my fellow members of the board. If you're comfortable with it, I think we should.
It's 300,000, Mike.
Excuse me?
It's 300,000.
Yeah.
And Mike, just for the record, the Haley Ward's estimation with 10% for administration and contingency was added to it, and the total was $298,038.
Yeah. So because this is a private project, Tim, we're not allowed to go with prevailing wage on it. So I don't know how it fits into that. So I guess the other question that would arise is, if for whatever reason, and I doubt very much this would ever happen, but if you didn't finish it, does the homeowners association have the ability to complete that?
Well, if we didn't finish and we went bankrupt, the bank would foreclose and sell it to another developer. Or the bank would finish it. There's still a viable product there. There's 32 buildable
right now
units.
there is, but if you got down to the last 4 units,
It would be the same thing.
Nobody's going to come in and buy the last 4 units and pave the subdivision. The left phase.
Well, the bond would cover, the bond would cover the remaining open work if we went belly up. Yeah. So yes, the answer would be yes, the HOA, the town would call the bond, and the bond would go in and finish the project.
But the town can't hire anybody else under procurement. They have to pay prevailing wage. So that's the sticking point in my mind.
Well, that's what was confusing me also, because this bond really should go to the HOA. They would be the ones who would...
You'd have to get in a time machine and go back to 2008 when we started with this, right? This is what we're all stuck with today, so that's why I'm asking these questions, not to be difficult, just put them out on the table so we're all aware.
I think Doug did this to... The estimation of probable construction costs utilizes the Massachusetts Department of Transportation weighted bid unit price. So I think it does cover prevailing wage.
Okay. Yeah.
That's correct, Doug?
Prevailing wage, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Mr. Chair, if I may weigh in on
Yes,
this, because
please.
I did look into this issue, and I have had, thankfully, only one situation where a developer defaulted, and the bank did take the property and have to complete it. And as Member Fitzpatrick stated, prevailing wage does not apply to private situations. It's only for municipalities. If the town had to do the work, they definitely would have to bid it, as he said, with prevailing wage rates. So technically, the town can't do the work without doing prevailing wage, but they can't require it specifically under the bond calling it prevailing wage, but they can require the bond amount to be higher to cover the possibility that the town might end up doing the work. But it is also possible that the bank would take over and would end up doing the work. So that's what the purpose of the bond is. The bond just has to have enough money, whether you call it prevailing wage or not. It's got to have enough that if you weren't able to finish completion,
Well, yeah.
it could be done under that dollar amount that's in the bond.
And by using the Mass DOT weighted bid unit prices, I believe that covers that.
Yeah, I'll leave the amounts to, and I know I know the board's peer reviewer looked at that as well. And I believe somebody else, highway surveyor, somebody else looked at it.
I would agree, Tim, if Mass DOT, if this is their pricing, huh?
Yeah,
I'm sure that it,
that's right on the last paragraph, Dan, in the end.
yep.
Just trying to cover all the issues that have arisen over the last few months to make sure we get them, when we got everybody together tonight, we can just hash it out and be done with it.
Yep. Question through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Roughly how long did it take you to do the phase 2 units from some unit 32 to that endpoint?
That was during COVID.
Okay.
There's no way to judge.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, what would be the average time of doing these last 32 units,
2
right?
or 3 years.
2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
And then, and I'm just wondering if it's in there, is the revisit of a bond amount, should it, because let's say it takes 6 years, you know what I mean? Like, this quote's based upon today's prices versus 6 years in the future, and that's all,
Understood, that's how bonds are
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
It's at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're in a pretty good. So my one microphone was on, so I didn't be like Doug and talk for 15 minutes until he heard me. They're actually in a pretty good position because they have the road and infrastructure in.
Yeah.
And it's pretty flat at this point. It's a matter of plucking in these foundations and putting them in. Real estate has been moving pretty fast in the town of Douglas, so I think they'd be on the shorter side of things. Obviously, they're hostage to subs and whatever are showing up to do their work, but I think they would move along pretty quick. Doing the 2 years might be a little bit of a stretch for them, but they might be able to get it done in a 2 year period.
Good deal.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Chairman, with that, I would like to make a motion to approve their bond amount so we can move forward in that and get this project back going again. And that's my motion to approve the bond.
Okay. In the amount of $300,000.
Mr. Chair,
We want to do the first two items?
can you address those, the guardrail and lighting issues as well?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
whatever, in other words, a motion to whatever else you're
Yep.
going to require them to do on those two issues?
Yeah.
And then the motion,
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably do that first.
okay.
The
So ask for a
guardrail.
second to,
The guardrail and the lights.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
The only thing that I have to say about that is in the agreement, the bond and the last 4 units are the only thing tied to the pavement. The other issues labeled as infrastructure, being the lighting and the sidewalks and all this other stuff, water and sewer and everything else, is tied to occupancies.
Correct.
So
okay, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
that's where your leverage would be to try to get those other things done. I think if we try to tie it into the bond, it's going to become a rock fight. I've grown to know Tim Grimm pretty well, so I don't want to fight through it. I just want to get through it.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, that's a good point.
I think-
Yeah.
I agree with that. That is a good point.
I think we're going to take them as 3 separate votes, right? If that's what you want us to do.
Well, what Mike is saying is that as much as you want to get squared away with the lighting and the guardrails, his motion to approve the bond can be done separately because those other things can be held hostage, if you will, by the use and occupancy permit.
Right.
So if you want to not,
I'm just trying to chip away so we can
Yeah.
eliminate it one at a time.
yeah, agreed.
My
So,
first motion is to approve the bond for the final cost of pavement.
yeah.
Okay, we have a-
Seconded.
Yep, okay, we have a motion by Mr. Fitzpatrick to approve the bond in the amount of $300,000, seconded by Mr. Palmer. Any further discussion?
Does that have to be the exact amount as 298, as it says in the bond?
No, the bond, what they submitted, Mike, says $300,000,
Correct.
Oh, okay.
which is
Okay.
$1,500 more than Doug's.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion, and it's been seconded to approve it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Dan, because I'm remote, you have to do a roll call vote. This kind of guy.
yep. Go. Aye, Dan Heaney. Let's see, voting on this is going to, is myself, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Forget, Margaret, and Mike. Sorry, I just had that.
Fitzpatrick guy.
No, wait, I don't think, did you?
Palmer, aye. Sorry.
Okay, Ron?
Forget aye.
Margaret? Okay, all right, so, there you go. The $300,000 bond is approved.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I know there's other factors in being able to build and sell 32 units in 24 months, thereabouts, so
You know-
just don't wait till the last
Yeah.
minute. If you're, you know, if we're 6 or 8 months out and it doesn't look like it's going to happen, we want to work with you to get this completed, but
Thank you.
prefer to not do things at the last minute.
Agreed. No, we'll let you know in plenty of time.
Did we need to make a decision or vote on the guardrail or lighting regarding the plan?
The lighting looked into
Well,
it.
the guardrail, I think, has been resolved.
Yeah, it's, there's
Provide an
nothing.
updated plan?
I
Yes.
think the lighting
Yeah,
needs
just-
to something up.
Yeah, unless you want, if I may, Mr. Chair, agreed. It sounded like you resolved the guardrail issue, but you just, if you're going to agree that they're not going to be exactly where they were shown on the original plan, you might want to require an updated plan, and then the lighting issue, you need to decide what you're going to require.
Right.
So,
I
Mr.
haven't,
Barlow, do you want Doug to make a plan? You want to generate the plan? Or what do you want to do with that on the guardrail plate?
No, we'll take one of the as-built that we've been working with, the partial as-built, and we'll add the guardrail to it, because we have to do an as-built at the end of the project.
Right.
So we'll just add it to the working as-built, and I'll bring that in.
If I could suggest, the plan that shows the light is the plan that shows the entire boulevard, so we could do that plan, once we agree on the light, we could put it on that plan and the guardrail as it exists, and get that plan approved as a modification to the permit.
Okay, makes sense. Cool.
yeah,
And I'll try to have the engineered report for the lights for the next meeting. So
Okay.
we'll bring that in and hopefully get that resolved, because we would like to get the lights. I'd like to get phases 1, 2, and 3 to a point of completion, and that's
That
the
would
only
be-
missing item.
that would make us happy.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a win-win then.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Tim, I have another question for you. We haven't talked about this since it went in. That cistern that was put in,
Yes.
what kind of maintenance is done on that? Who maintains that?
We maintain it, and the only thing we need to do is add bleach to it twice a year, and then open it up, inspect it, make sure that it's still at the correct water level, so there are no leaks, and the water is never evaporated out of it.
Is that you or the homeowners?
Do you
association?
document that process?
Homeowners.
Yes.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Could you get a copy of that to the board that we could give to the fire department?
We can email it to you also annually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be helpful, at least to the fire department, so they would know. Once the project's done, the ZBA won't have much to do with it, but the fire department will.
Agreed, will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other?
No, I want to get out of here.
I think we did pretty good, Tim.
Yeah.
Did great.
Yeah, record time.
Yes.
We're 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Did you ever get that address from Sam?
Yes, I'm going to see her next.
Whatever.
It's an inside joke, Kate.
I figured as much, Mike.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'm sure Pam thinks it's a joke, but,
Oh, thank you.
This was
Yeah.
from a trade show I went to.
Well, these are the heads we put on. Well, these are the ones we just
And
did.
if you read that,
Yeah, yeah.
all right,
Thank you.
it all makes sense.
we don't have any vouchers to sign
Yeah, love
tonight,
it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Perfect.
or anything
Thanks,
else.
guys, for coming.
Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Deal.
Good night.
Right. Oh, what do we got?
There are no vouchers to sign.
Minutes?
Oh,
Oh, you weren't at the meeting. Oh, you called and left. That's what it was. Yeah, this was the,
Okay,
we can wait till the next meeting if you want.
yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay.
Then I have a chance to read it.
Cool. You wanna- Anything else? Motion?
No, entertain a motion to,
I make a motion to adjourn.
Don't you have to accept minutes? Yeah. Minutes?
We're gonna do it next
No, we're
meeting
gonna
with
do
the
next
full
meeting.
boards here.
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's not even any of
Thank you for coming
my
in.
packet.
Yep,
My pleasure, Mike.
thank you.
So, did you make a motion?
Motion by
Oh, I did.
Palmer, second by Margaret.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Palmer, to adjourn, second by Margaret. All in favor?
Aye.
Item, meeting is adjourned at 8:04.
Wow, that's pretty good.